What was I saying? What was I saying? Oh, when you go into drawdown, right? So like, let's say when you get into these plays, when you get into these particular plays and you start going into drawdown, guys, you already know how much you're going to lose based on, right? Based on the number of contracts you're playing. Gosh, this is a great play, guys. I hope you guys are in this play here. I hope you guys are in this play. Hope you guys are in this play here. So again, reason why candle, the high price was 18,749. We're currently trading as high as 762. So we're up about 13 points here since the initial entry. Again, 1 hour time frame is approaching that resistance at the high of day. But the chart looks good, right? The chart looks good. So bulls are still, they look like they're still in control here. They could definitely pop through this 772. If you want to take profits into 770s and then hold a runner, right? Hold a runner, right? So if you're trading multiple contracts, definitely hold a runner if we do continue, right? Just keep that in mind. Again, you know, we've hit highs of 762, entry price of 749. So around 13 points there, right? Depending on how many contracts you're trading is going to be dependent on how much money you made, right? So on that bracket order that I had set up, I had it for a 10-point take profit, and as soon as it hit the 10 points, that was it, right? And I pulled $62 or $63 or something off that trade, which is not much. Copy traded times the 3 accounts, again with fill times, slippage and stuff like that. Obviously, for every 10 points you make on one micro contract is around $20. So that hence why the profit target, or the profit was what the profit was. All right. I like that. So Neki made good gains and then able to call it a day, guys. That's what and also that's what it is. You know, that's what it's all about. You know, identifying these moves, right? Identifying the moves, making sure that, you know, your risk management and everything is in check. So that way you can take a couple trades on the day and then be done, right? We don't like to, you know, don't make your life boring like mine, sitting here for 8 hours a day, right? The longer you trade, the more opportunity you have to give back cash. Okay, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. You know, the longer you trade. I mean, again, if any of you guys, if you guys go to the learning channel there, we had someone new in the room who was kind of explaining a little, you know, hiccup that they had this morning. And that's the thing, you know, the longer you trade, you have to have some type of realistic expectation, right, guys? I mean, if we're up $2,000, right? We're up $1,000, right? We're up $500. I mean, you gotta start, you know, you gotta start having a clear head on your shoulders, right? I mean, there's 20 odd trading days in the month, okay? You make $2,000 a day times 20 trading days on one account, you're talking about making $60,000. Guys, most of you guys are out there trading prop firm accounts where your drawdown is only $2,000. So does it really sound right? You know, a $60,000 return on a $2,000 account? Something is off, right? You know, that's not realistic. It's not realistic. What you're looking to do, especially when you're trading prop firms, and again, in the beginning, however you want to pass your evaluations is how you want to pass them, right? But I will always speak in terms of we're trading a live account, meaning our own personal cash, or we're trading a funded account, right? Because I don't really care about the evaluations. However you want to trade them, you want to throw on 20 fucking contracts and try to pass them in one trade, that's your prerogative. Do whatever you want to do. But once you get to the live account, or you're trading real cash, meaning your own personal account, guys, if you had a $50,000 account in live funds, you know, you're looking to make between 2 and 3% a month. I mean, in the numbers can even be dialed back between 1 and 2%, right? Over the course of a year, if you're doing between 1 to 3% a month on average, right, on the money that you're managing, whether it's personal or prop, I don't care, it's all the same. You're talking about gains of anywhere between 12 and 25% return on the year. Okay. Now you tell me, where can I put in $50,000 into a bank or somewhere besides a loan shark or doing something crazy that's not legal? Where can I put in 50,000 and take out 20% of my money in 1 year? Right? Sure. Can we go put $50,000 down on a piece of property, and maybe the housing market continues to rise, which again, that's a whole nother story in its own, and we build $50,000 in equity? Sure. You know, we make 20,000 or 20% in returns on equity? Sure. But where can you put cold hard cash, right? Guys, we're talking cash here. Where can you put cash and get a 20% return? Okay, so keep the numbers realistic is all I'm trying to say. Now, again, you can have a 50% year, you can have a 10% year, you can have a 5% year, you can have a 18% year. The numbers are going to be varied, right? The numbers are going to be varied. Guys, we're still active in the 20 SMA long play. Again, we've hit highs of 62. So from an entry of 49, 14 points. Pulling back a little bit here, you do have support sitting at 750s. Again, that 18,729 is definitely going to be the level that I'm watching. If bulls do not put in a new high and we lose 18,729, you've got support sitting at 716. Okay, 18,716. That would be your next rising support here on the 5 SMA on a 1 hour time frame. But again, you know, keep things put things in a realistic perspective, right? So when it comes to trading prop, so many of us, you know, we have a limited capital, right? You can make 100 trades in a day if your little heart desires. Okay, doesn't mean you're going to make money on all those 100 trades that you place. Also, some of you guys, you know, you put on way too much size. You make $400, $500, $1,000, $2,000, and you think that that's replicatable, right? Like you can duplicate that each and every single day. And the harsh reality is that many of you can't. Okay, many of you can't do that. You don't have the experience to do that. You don't have the mental equity, right? Because this is a very stressful business. You also don't have the account size, right? We can all get lucky and put on some good trades and make some really good money. But in order to do that on a day in, day out basis, you need to have a lot of money. Okay, a lot of money. Now, if you're trading prop firms, you need to have multiple accounts spread out, right? Spread out. I'm not talking about making, you know, $1,000 a day times 20 Apex accounts. I'm talking about, you know, making 50, making 100, making $150 times 20 Apex accounts. That's really good money. That's sustainable, right? This whole business is about sustainability. So if you can be consistent and you can sustain that level of, you know, pain tolerance and drawdown and you know, and having the self-control to stop yourself out at a $200 day or a $300 day or a $150 day is sustainable. But when you guys hit trades off the open and you're up 300-400 and then you're pushing it, now you're up 800 and you just, all you see is dollar signs and all you see is, oh my gosh, you know, it's only been 30 minutes of the market open. If I do keep doing this all day, I'm gonna be rich. I'm gonna be rich, right? And what happens? Not only do you give it back, but you lose the account. Okay, I've seen it happen before. Not only have I seen it happen, I've been there. I'm not you know, I'm not perfect. Not perfect. And again, you know, like I said, you know, the way you trade evaluations is your prerogative. It's however you want to do it. You know, I'm not a fan of sitting here for 3 months trying to pass one evaluation. I don't have the time. I don't have the time to do that. But I want to make a very valid point here, guys. We're testing the 20 SMA here on the 5-minute time frame. So 18,772 is the high of day. We pulled back, we bounced, we've put in a lower high, and now we are setting up a 20 SMA play to the downside. Remember, 18,729 needs to be broken before we have room to come down to 18,715s. Okay. Realistically, I'd like to see this big ass candle here take out 18729, bounce, and then confirm the low through 729. That would be a nice trade. That's what I would like to see. Doesn't matter what I want to see, right? It's what price is going to do. Good job, Elder. 65 ticks on 3 micros is good. LJU lost on the previous 20 SMA short and then got some back on the 20 SMA long. Yeah. The biggest advice that I can give to you guys who are trading prop firms is take your time. Take your time, right? You have to find your sweet spot, what works for you. You know, what is comfortable, right? You know, position size wise, dollar amount wise. You know, don't gamify this. Don't gamify this. This is not a video game. It's not a video game where you're trying to, you know, make as much money so you can pass to the next level. Because a lot of you guys who are trading on prop who never traded real capital, meaning your own personal account, you guys would not trade your own real cash the way you're trading these prop firms. And that's a fact. That's a fact. A, either your account size wouldn't be big enough to do what you're doing. B, the first trade that you take where you're in $500, $600, $700 drawdown on real capital, you would lose your shit. You would lose your mind. Okay? It takes a long time to develop being able to sit through drawdown in swings of that magnitude. So the way I would tell anyone is play normal position size that if it was your real cash, you would have no problem losing, right? So take your $50,000 prop firm account as an example, and how much would you be comfortable losing if that was real cash, right? You have a $2,000 or $2,500 drawdown on those accounts. So that's your account size. Guys, you can't be trying to make $1,000 a day on a $2,000 account. It doesn't make any sense. If this 20 SMA play confirms, 18729 is going to be a little bit of a resistance spot here. Again, this is one of those plays where maybe you do second guess taking the short position here because you don't want to get stopped out on a higher low being put in and then it's snapping back. But again, it's all defined by risk, right? It's all defined by risk. So if you're comfortable with that risk of this trade potentially not working out, then just trade the number of contracts that you're okay with losing. The 1 hour chart is starting to try to test previous hours lows. So again, through 18,729, yes, it does have room down to 18,710, 711. Keep that in mind. For me personally, okay, I'm a little bit of a bigger fan here of coming down to 730, 729, breaking that and then confirming that before I want to get short. Because how much space do I have here? How much space do I have here? The low 736. I got 5 points before we run into this prior swing low. And on the micro side of things, that's probably not going to be enough for me to get in and get out. And again, because the way I'm managing my account right now is I'm not trying to ruin a good thing. I'm not trying to ruin a good thing. You know, I'm green on the day. So why the heck do I want to push harder if I'm green? If anything, I want to go slower. I want to move a lot slower. Makes sense. So again, stay patient, right? Stay patient. We're flagging on the top side. We're sensing a little weakness here. Is this range gonna hold, right? Look at this range. Okay, look at this range, right? Is this range going to hold? If it doesn't hold, well then we're coming lower. If we break to the top side, well, we're going higher. So why do we want to try to swim around in the mud? Stay patient. You're not missing anything. As we're approaching to lunch hour, right? So, would it be that surprising if during lunch we pull back into lower supports, maybe 18,700, maybe the original breakout spot all the way down at 690s, right? Would that be so surprising before we see a bounce? Probably not. Preferably what you want to see, guys, after a big move like this is you want to see a pullback into rising hourly support. Okay, so for a lot of you guys that are new trading with me, and you guys weren't around when we were trading a lot of options, right? A lot of stock. You guys are just with me here on the future side of things. Guys, these moves here, this is what I'm looking for all day. This is a bread and butter move here. You're taking the break over pre-market highs, over the previous day highs. You're looking for first hour highs. I get it, right? 20 SMA plays, I get it. But once you get that extended move, it's like this. You can't, right? You can't just keep buying every new high, right? And you also can't just keep shorting every new high, okay? So what you need to see is, think about it like this. If this big green candle that we have here on the 1 hour time frame, think about that as a skyscraper, right? And think about it as 50 stories high, right? And then it gets confirmed and it goes up another 10 stories, right? Do you want to jump out of the 50th story building, or hell, even the 10th story, right? Do you want to jump out of that, or would you rather get in at a better price, right? Here's also a scenario. A lot of times traders think, well, that was the move higher, we're coming down lower. So what they try to start doing is shorting. Market's got to come back down. And you're shorting against a strong move, okay? All this is, the last, hour, 2 hours, is resting. It's resting. That's all it's doing. put in a big move, and now it's resting. So what you want to see it do is you want to see it rest into a strong level of support. Now, I'm not going to pull that strong level of support off of a 5-minute time frame. I'm going to go towards a bigger time frame, and I'm going to pull that stronger level of support. Does the hourly chart look like it wants to come lower? Sure. Right? It does look like it wants to go lower. But I need to see something get confirmed. I need to see this range get broken. Let's see the range get broken. Is anyone interested in taking this short play here on this 20 SMA? Or are you in it? If you are, this range is 20 points. Okay, so your reason why range is 20 points. That low is 18,737. Okay, 737. This current candle's low is 732. 5-point decline already. 5-point decline. Hourly chart looks like it's testing the previous hour lows. Ultimately, what you would be looking for if you're trading smaller sizes to get down into the between 710 and 720. Okay, so we want to see us get into the 20s, and that's where you're going to want to be taking those profits. Now, if you're a scalper, I hope you have a clear defined point system where you are profitable more times than not. For me personally, and I can only speak for myself, it's between 3 and 5 on scalps. If I'm trading big size, it's between 3 and 5. Yeah. You want you want Elder, you want the chart setup? Yeah, I got you. I'll post it in there right now. See how we're bouncing here, guys? 18,729. See how we're coming down right to that level. It's not rocket science, you know. These levels are meant to be respected, and when they get violated, that's when we as traders have to take advantage of them. And when they don't confirm, right? When they don't confirm, then that's when we have to manage ourselves as adults and act accordingly. Oops. Patience, patience here, always patience, patience. New hour candle here. So again, if we now that as time passes, notice that rising support on that 5 SMA that I was talking about, right? Notice how as more time passes, it begins to creep, right? So it's creeping, and it's rising support. Okay, so I always talk about this a lot, like we need to come down into rising support. Guys, you give it 1 hour, another 30 minutes, another 2 hours, it's going to look like, okay, this is the thing with moving averages, it's going to look like we tested this rising 5-minute support perfectly. Okay, what that's going to do better for us is, now if we do get a bounce like we're getting here and we fail to make a new high, if we start to confirm the previous hour lows, is going to be losing, it's going to be losing this 5-minute, or excuse me, this 5 SMA on a 1 hour time frame, right? So if we do start to lose 18,729, which is the rising five support here, then now we have room to come back down to the original breakdown or breakout spot of around 18,700. I hope that makes sense. Right, so what would that look like on a 5-minute time frame? Okay, so what it would look like on a 5-minute time frame is breaking the bottom, right? This dotted line that you guys can see I put here on the screen is breaking that and then confirming those new lows. Okay, that would be your entry, the confirmation, not the first initial breakdown. Now here's one thing to keep in mind. Sometimes, guys, sometimes we break that level and it just goes down 30-40 points without us. Never gives us a confirmation, never gives us a back test, never gives us consolidation and then allowing us time. That's trading. We're not going to sit and cry about that, right? If you're the type of trader who's going to sit and cry about that, well, it never gave me confirmation, I couldn't get in, it broke that level and it went down 40 points without me, then be my guest and take the first entry, but don't cry later when that first entry fails and then it wicks you in and then traps you, right? So there's pros and cons to every which way of trading. Every which way you want to take an entry, every which way, I mean, we can sit here until pigs fly and talk, thesis, and talk, what's the best way to take a trade? What's the best way to enter the trade? What's the best take profit? Guys, it's all fugazi. It's just, you have to manage what you're looking at, right? The only thing that has ever helped me, is that taking position size that I'm comfortable swallowing if it's wrong. That's it. And I've brought this story up many times before, but when I learned how to trade, the person who taught me how to trade made me trade 1 share. Do you know how gut-wrenching it is to trade 1 share and watch a stock go up $1 to see you only make $1 on the trade? Do you know how hard that is to sit there? If I would have taken 100 share lot, I would have made $100. If I would have taken 10 options contracts, would have been $1,000. Do you know how hard that is to do that? But what that does is it builds confidence. it also builds discipline, right? It builds discipline, because if you could sit through that trading one share at a time, which is why for those of you guys on the future side of things, I recommend trading one micro. You know, trading one micro. You know, maybe you only make 10 bucks, but you do that long enough, you start to become numb to the moves. You start to become numb to the dollar amount. The dollar amount doesn't matter at that. You get fixated on watching price and levels, getting in when you're supposed to and getting out when you're supposed to. We got some more gains coming through here. Photo man. Big day from this guy, huh? First day back working. Got 4 evals, 50K, and a couple 250s. Nice. Nice day today. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 2 G's times 4 accounts. That's a great day. Guys, 20 SMA play long setting up here. Be a little cautious in the middle of a range, right? So being in the middle of this range, yes, do the bulls get a little bit more benefit of the doubt because we're holding this area? Sure. But until we take out 18,772, they can continue to bring it back down here. So again, you know, we'll do the same thing. We'll get in on 4 micro contracts here. And again, you know, if it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't, right, guys? I mean, we're looking at a 12.5 point range. My stop loss is going to be below this reason why, and I might actually give it a little bit more room. I might actually give it to the 729, right? The 729. If we break this bottom floor here, then I'll get out. You may be thinking that's a lot of risk. Sure, if you're trading big size, it is a lot of risk, you know, but when you're trading a few contracts here and there, you know, it's really not. Once you're in the trade goes until you get, you know, close to 20 or 12 points. The ATR on this 5-minute time frame is also 12.5 points. So either we get 12.5 points or we get stopped out. It is what it is. All right, let's just see how it plays out here. I think I still have that bracket set up for 10 points, so I might be getting taken out at 10 points, and I don't feel like taking my brackets off. I don't feel like taking the brackets off. Redoing everything. 10 points, 12 points, what's the difference, right? When you're talking micro contracts. What I don't like though, is I hate trading in the middle of the range like this. I hate trading it like that. A, it takes longer to set up. B, it's lunch hour, right? A lot of things working against me on this trade as far as just from what I like to do. But again, I have a system, I have a strategy, I follow it. That is what it is. Until I tell myself I'm done trading on the day, I will continue to take my setups when my setups present themselves. You know, I can sit here and say, well, maybe this, maybe that. Look at, if I'm gonna waste my time sitting at the screens, I better be looking to take my setups. Okay, I'm if not, then I can do better things. I can have better things to do than to just sit here and watch and try to guess where price can go. Guys, we're getting some big gains here. Burke's also working on 250 evals with Apex, $2,700 day times 5 accounts. Beautiful. $20 SMA sitting at around 747. We have the 5 SMA on a 5-minute time frame sitting around 744. And that big firm level I'm looking at is, you know, what is this here? 18,726. The 5 SMA on a 1-hour time frame. Little flaggy here on the 1-hour chart. Little flaggy. Hmm. Anyone got any plans next weekend for Memorial Day? I mean, anything big going on? Anybody taking off anywhere?
But I don't know if he was born and raised there, or if he moved home base to there. But yes, he does have some Caliisms about him here. All right, taking a look here. Yeah, all-time highs. Nasdaq. How about it? 18,773. What I'm seeing. Hit that today. Good on the Nasdaq. Almost watching.
Yeah, I hear that. I'm redoing my backyard, trying to get it ready for the summer. I'll be tossing a couple back, but nothing too exciting. Nice seller, nice. I'm gonna take guys on the if you guys are watching my screen on this left side, I got a 5-minute chart up. I'm gonna take a look at the 2-minute right now. So again, chart's gonna look a little different. We'll look at the 2-minute here and just kind of see what's going on. Notice this range that we're in here, right? Very, very flaggy. Very, very flaggy here. There was a 2-minute SMA or 2-minute 20 SMA play that set up here a little while ago. It was a 5.5 point range. Looks like that confirmed for an easy 1-to-1 on 5 points. It's getting, I'm also noticing we are getting a little wicky up here at the top, right? These last 3 hours, we're making these pushes higher, and then buyers cannot really, they can't hold, right? So notice, indecision candle, indecision candle. This is an inverse hammer candle, right? So anytime you start, even though we're flagging to the top side, it's getting a little weak. Would I go back to back on trades after getting stopped out? Sure. If I haven't hit my daily loss limit yet, yeah, I will. Um, if we're talking about this one currently here, I mean, sure. But if you go back to back and you lose on this short and we don't break down here, then I would start thinking about maybe not being a little bit more patient, because we haven't really confirmed the range to the downside here yet. We haven't confirmed the range to the top side here yet. 20 SMA play setting up here, not really doing much. 20 SMA play long here, setting up, not really doing much, right? So how many times can we realistically sit here and watch this go back and forth before we either tell ourselves we're going to stay out of this range, or it finally gives way, right? So here's what also happens. Some people take the 20 SMA play long currently, like myself. Don't take the short position, and the short position is the one that goes, right? Now you're kicking yourself in the ass. So yeah, I mean, definitely, if you haven't hit a daily max loss yet, sure, go for it. But if you're down 900 and talking about, I just need one play to get me back, then no, I would say stay away. But so as long as your risk is in check, I mean, it's a setup. It's a setup. close below the 20 SMA here. My position is currently down around 65 bucks here, so if this doesn't start to juice up here, I will be considering stopping myself out. Mhm. These are times where it sucks to be a trader, right? Where price is not really doing nothing. You know, we don't have enough, we don't really have big range to where you can get in and take some scalps. You kind of have a lot of sitting around to do, a lot of, you know, waiting. But the majority of this game is all waiting, guys. Waiting to get stopped out, waiting to take your profits and allowing it to hit profits, waiting for your setup. That's it. A lot of traders have it very confused. Market's open, price is moving. I have to be trading. Where's my trade? Where's my trade? Where can I get in? Where can I get in? We're going up. Okay, let me take this long. No, going back down. Let me go short. Guys, 80% of this game is waiting. Yeah, pretty much, right? Because what it is it's human nature, right? It's human nature. It's you. We're all conditioned. The harder you work, the more money you make. You know, the harder you try, the better you're gonna get, right? It's like it goes against everything that you know you've learned, right? Everything that you've learned. You know, the more you study, the better you're going to be as a trader. When in fact, none of that is anything remotely what it takes to be a good trader, right? Probably the worst people that takes a very long time to make money and actually get it in this business is competitive people by nature. You know, I'm not saying you had to be a professional athlete, but anyone who, you know, grew up playing sports is a competitive nature, or anyone who is, you know, book smart, right? Book smart, highly book smart, went to college, went to school, you did that type of stuff. Because when you're a highly competitive athlete, you know, the harder you work at something, the more you hustle, the more you do this, the more you do that, the more results you see, right? In trading, it's not the same way. You can sit here and tell yourself, you know, I'm going to sit here longer, I'm going to work harder, I'm going to, you know, whatever, right? It doesn't translate into trading. And typically people who are super book smart, who, want to figure everything out, you want to have the right answer, you want to study, you want to read. Those type of people also don't do well in the markets when they're first starting off, because of the fact that you're never going to understand the markets. So you think that by the more you study, the more you understand strategy, the more you understand this and price action and the news and fundamentals and numbers and all this crap, that it's going to give you some type of edge. And realistically, you put your money on the table, the trade goes against you, and you don't know how to handle it. It's all emotional control. Like, if you just focus on the emotions, you focus on the actual psychology, and the only way you're going to be able to do that is by trading small size. And again, trading small size for those two types of individuals doesn't necessarily pan out well, because they feel like they're working so hard for so little, right? Guys, a lot of you guys can go out and get a regular job and go work 12 hours a day and make more money than you're making trading right now. So if you really want to make this work, start getting realistic with it and start letting these gains start to add up, because a lot of you guys are better off just going to get a regular job or getting a secondary job and working 12 hours a day. You're going to make more money, right? So if you really want to, add an additional income, add supplemental income, you really want to get this, you really need to be okay and content with letting smaller days stack up until you have a bankroll to be able to make more money on your trades. Exactly. Exactly. $20 wins are still green. I mean, guys, when you break the numbers down, it really sounds it sounds so ridiculous, guys. If even if you made $25 a day times 20, 22 some odd trading days in the month, you'd be pulling in an additional $500.
You want to go to birthday dinner?
So when you make, $25 a day, right? It doesn't seem like a lot at all. But over the course of 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, it starts to add up. You want to make more money, you can add more accounts. You know, 25 $25 spread out times 10 accounts.
Yeah, some
Do
good
the
stuff.
math. But again, most of us don't see it that way, right? You don't see it that way. Got to crawl before you can walk. Still trading in the middle of the range here again, guys. That rising hourly support still sitting at 18,726. Bottom of this range here sitting at 729. Top of the range at 772. So again, we've been in this range now for over an hour and a half. Over an hour and a half. So until something gives way, maybe it's smartest thing to do is sit on your hands and be patient, and or you're sitting in one of these active trades until you get stopped out. And to be honest, personally, I would say, the bottom of the range is your stop if you're long, and the top of the range is your stop if you're short, right? If you're not playing position sizing that can handle that amount of risk, then you shouldn't even be in a trade at all, period. Because at that point in time, all you're doing is trying to guess. You're trying to guess. I mean, look at the ranges on the candles. 11 points here, 12 points here, 6 points here, 12 points here, 13 points. Guys, I mean, we're moving up and down 10 points at a time. 10 points at a time, up and down. I'm gonna pull up a 5-minute big chart on the right hand side of the screen here. 20 SMA setting up short here. Again, a lot of back and forth action. To me, a true stop loss on a short position is over the previous swing high, and we'd be looking at like 762. Okay, 762. As long as we're staying below that, you're holding into 720s. Long position here again, 729, 730's got to be the stop, right? Got to be the stop. Bollinger Bands are getting real tight as well. I'm expecting this move, and it might not be until we come out of lunch hour, but I'm expecting the move to be a pretty decent sized move. I'll probably hang out until we break these Bollinger Bands and then see if I can catch that move to either side. I'm going to pull up some stocks, guys, on the left-hand chart. So right-hand side still going to be the NQ. I'll keep that big chart up, but I'm gonna just pan through some stocks here. Also, we got NVIDIA earnings week as well. AMD is kind of coming back up to the previous 2-hour range here. Maybe AMD, if this thing can get going, if AMD can get going over 167.18, maybe can come back up towards these highs, 168.5. Microsoft as well looks good. There's a sneaky area here. Sneaky area on Microsoft over 125.25. Maybe potentially has $1 room to the upside here, back up to the top of this range, if the market wants to get going here out of lunch. Anything below Microsoft, anything below 423.73 would be a short position. S&Ps are kind of sitting at their support here. S&Ps have room down to 530. The SPY 530. If they can continue to kind of push down here, I could see this pullback into this 20 SMA on the S&Ps before we get some type of bounce. If they don't hold this area. Everyone who got smoked on AMC. Look at AMC. Back down at $4. That's a joke. Same thing with GameStop. I mean, they ran that thing to $80 in the pre-market. Sold it off. Unbelievable. I mean, how many bag holders do you think that are on AMC and GME right now? I know a lot of you guys don't play these meme stocks and stuff, but guys, by the time you're hearing about meme stocks, you're hearing people on social media talk about it, you're hearing these influencers talk about it, you are too late. They are already in and they are getting ready to unload that bag on you. You are already late. So by the time that Roaring Kitty dude started posting on Twitter about GameStop, you were way too late. He was already in. I can guarantee you that. He was already in, rode the pop, sold on the next day, and everyone else who thinks that something's going to happen just got shitted on. You guys just got left holding the bag. It's like that over and over. Guys, these people on social media, these influencers, they do not have your best interest at heart. Like, especially people who are talking about plays, short squeezes, get in on this and that and hold and all this stuff. You are too late already. You're too late. You have to do the due diligence on your own. You have to find these charts on your own and then tell yourself, hey, this is a good deal or a good value for XYZ, not everyone else is getting in this and it's moving higher. Let me jump in. You missed the boat already. You missed the boat. Tesla's having a nice little recovery here. Decent recovery. This stock can't seem to get out of its own way lately though. It doesn't hold gains that much. Let's take all this crap off. Tesla's got next support at 171. 171. They had this thing. Maybe this is a false tick. This has got to be a false tick. Because I've got lows on Tesla today at 157. It's got to be a false tick. Pre-market or something. Oh yeah. Yeah, every week something's popping 100%. Just gotta find that one and be on it early. MMV. MMV up 200%. Just out of nowhere. What is this? Multi-time metaverse? What the hell's that? What is this? What is this junk? Short this thing. Short it. Short it back down to 105. 50 cents there. Maybe even shorter into, yeah, 105, 106. You got options on this piece of junk? Probably not. Guys, 20 SMA play long here on NQ. Again, still in the middle of the range here. Not a whole lot of conviction. I'm still sitting long in that same position I've been in. MMV. Can't even short this thing. Nice pop here, guys. I'd like to play a bottom bounce here on Tesla as well. Let's see here. If I use a low of day as a stop, previous 2 hours, 173.61, I give myself about 75 cents risk here on this Tesla. 75 cents risk here on the Tesla. So if I go looking for a pop maybe into 175, not looking for much, risk 75 cents for 75 cents. ATR sitting at about $1.22, 170, currently trading at 174. So maybe we do something like, fuck if I can get there, Jesus Christ, 175s. 175s here, use low of day as stop. Great push here, guys. Who's long on the 20 SMA play? Again, I mean, this thing's setting up back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like I said, I've been in this long since God knows how long now, 30 minutes. But low of day, or this swing low, was going to be my stop loss, 18,729. And then, you know, for shorts, if you were sitting short, your stop loss has got to be up here at 772. See if we can get this pop here on Tesla. See if we can get the pop through high of day here on the Qs. More than likely, shit, I forgot. I still got that bracket order on, guys. Got that bracket order on. I got filled. It was another 10 points there. I want to make a point here. So again, I'm trading 4 micros. I have a 10-point bracket order set. Again, when I'm trading mini contracts, I set it for 10 points. That way, get in, get out, you know, $200 trade per 1 mini contract, $400 for 2 mini contracts, that type of deal. I just left it in place. Again, green already, so I'm protecting myself by trading micros and leave the bracket order in there, right? If I can add so far up on the 3, on the, God darn it, copy trading the 3 accounts, the new account that I just added on here to be copy traded, 2 trades, $110.08. 2 trades, 20 points, 4 micro contracts, $110. Guys, there's no stress to that. I sat here in basically was shooting the shit with you guys for 20-30 minutes here, and it is what it is, right? Is $110 life-changing money? No, but if you come in here and you do this 2-3 times a week, it's an extra $300, $600, $900, $1,200 a month. Stress-free, right? So keep that in mind here when you're trading. Because the leader account that I'm trading now, again, mind you, I was trading mini contracts to start the day, and I was also in on the big pop. Okay, so the big's bottom at 20 SMA off the open, I was in on that play on mini contracts. The leader account is up $1,800.84, $1,884.28. But I took a lot of trades on this because I was scalping heavy size and a little bit of points. So the performance stats on this is 80% win rate on the day for that one. 80% win rate on the day for that one. And I took 9 trades. One of them was a losing trade. 89% win rate for $1,884.28. That's the leader account. That's the leader account. The following accounts, I put them on for the last 2 trades. I sized down, went micros. Those accounts are sitting at $110. Okay. So again, when the leader account, because I'm copy trading, when the leader account is up that amount of money, I'm not looking to take $1,000+ to 5,000. That's crazy, right? I would be an idiot. I would be an idiot to continue to trade huge size on those accounts. But I want to give the other accounts a little bit of love here. So because I have a cushion on the day, right, up that amount on that leader account, there's a cushion there. So if I take a couple losses, it's not really going to affect me. I'm still going to finish the day green. But in order to make sure that I'm finishing the day green, I'm going to trade a lot smaller size. And the position size has been 4 micro contracts, and my take profit on my setups has been 10 points. That's it. That's it, right? Like I didn't do nothing special here. We broke in high of day. Guys, how many of my guys in the room are in on this long play here? Not to the people on YouTube, but how many people in my room are long here? Good move, good move. Good job. Good job, Elder. Good job, Nate. Let's make sure, again, we were only looking for maybe 10 points there. We got an 18-point candle here, 13-point candle here, guys. Let's start thinking about taking some profits. We do have resistance on a 5-minute time frame, 18,792. That's the linear regression. 18,792 is resistance. Now, the 1-hour chart that we were looking at, notice it. Breaking out here, guys. It's breaking out. I will need to see where we have some more resistance at. We got a daily Bollinger Band sitting at 18,893. 18,893 daily Bollinger Band. Maybe we can look for that as an area of resistance. We've also got 18,860 4-hour linear regression. 4-hour linear regression, 18,860. 4-hour chart is also sitting right at the Bollinger Band, right here where we stand. Not a point less, not a point less, more. We're right here at the upper Bollinger Band on the 4-hour time frame. This is a 4-hour breakout here on this chart. 4-hour breakout on this chart. 15-minute. I'm going to go through every single time frame. I want to see where you guys can have resistance levels at. 18,792 resistance on a 15-minute chart. 18,810 resistance on a 30-minute chart. Bollinger Band, we're squeezing the Bollinger Band on the 30-minute chart higher. It's kind of just riding into it. If you guys notice here, we're riding this Bollinger Band higher here. So we're going to have a little bit of pressure, right? A little bit of pressure. I hope you guys, smart enough to take some of those profits on that breakout. Now, if you were waiting for high of day to get taken out and then a new high be put in before you go long, you would be looking to see 18,779 get confirmed, and then potentially you have a little bit of a scalp there, and I gave you guys multiple levels. So you'd be looking at like 790s, maybe 20 points more worth of room before you guys start hitting resistance. 5-minute time frame. We got the Bollinger Band sitting right here. Remember, guys, earlier I said I was waiting to see these Bollinger Bands start to expand and get broken. Well, we broke them. So we broke it to the high side here. Now the Bollinger Bands are starting to act as relief, right? They start to act as relief. When the Bollinger Bands get tight and you finally start pushing up against it and you start breaking it, the Bollinger Bands, it's like a balloon, right? It's like you pop the balloon and now it starts letting out all of the hot air. So what you'd like to see here, if that 18,772 was the breakout spot, you want to see the 70s hold, high 60s hold, and then you want to see 779 get confirmed, and you want to take that next scalp for maybe 10, 15 points, right? If we have 20 points before we hit resistance, well, I don't even want to chance it. I want to try to get in and out within 10 to 15, right? That would be the thought process on that. We got 12 minutes here before the new hour candle starts. Break and retest here. I'd like to see Tesla get up here and test 75s. 75s. Nice floor here on Tesla. A little bit of a range here on Tesla from 173.5 to 175.80s. See it get into 175 though. As pulling back, got support at 18,762. Guys, let me know if this chart on the right, the big chart, let me know if that helps, right? Looking at these levels. I know a lot of you guys have the 20 and the 200 up on your screen, but does having extra areas of support and resistance, does that help or does it make things more confusing? I know for a lot of people, sometimes they say, you know, look, for me, you know, how do you look at this many how do you look at this many, you know, moving averages and not get confused? But does me, you know, citing these levels, is that confusing or is it beneficial for you? Because I won't read out every single level if it's confusing. Right back to these highs here, 779. Because I like to break things down as dumb as possible, right? Because I'm not that bright of a guy. But you know, the way that was explained to me is, if this is a coloring book and I was in preschool and they told me to stay in between the lines, well, I want to stay in between the lines. So if we break one of my lines here and we go to the next line, I want to take my trade in between those lines. Guys, we're getting that high of day break there. There's that confirmation. 81s was the push. 81s was the push. Guys, I just took a little scalp there. I went back to mini contracts. Back to mini contracts. I took the bracket I have set up here is for 2.5 points on mini contracts. In and out. I'm done on this leader account now, I think, guys. Bringing the total profits on that account to 1,970, and then the follower accounts 196.08. 196.08. I think I'm confident there to stop. I don't want to screw a good thing up. Again, that trade that I took, that scalp, just the momentum scalp there on the confirmation break through the high of day. Does that make sense? So if that 18,772 was the level we wanted to see broken, right? That was the range, that was the high of day. I want to see it get broken, okay? It got broken and it put in a new high of 18,779, okay? What I'm looking for after that is 779 to now get confirmed. When that gets confirmed, I'm going to get in, I'm going to get green, and I'm going to get the hell out. If you're trading smaller size, go back to what I was stating earlier. We have resistance sitting here in the 90s, guys. In the 90s, we're currently trading at 86. Please do yourself a favor, take profits, especially if you're in on the original 20 SMA play, especially if you're trading a little bit heavier size. Do not give this a chance to wick up there and then pull back and give everything away, okay? Said it 5-10 minutes ago that the 90s is that resistance. We're trading at 85. What's 4 points, guys? What's 5 points, right? $87 is the new high now. Guys, I just got out of an AMD trade that I've been sitting in for hours. That took way longer than expected. We're sitting up here on this upper Bollinger Band here on the NQ. Support now looks at around 776. 776, 772, the breakout spot is going to be support here on this NQ. And again, I could see us running into the 90s, low 90s, and then pulling back a little bit. So if you're long, let's be smart about this. 88, 89, 50 is the high now, guys. If you notice that chart on the right hand side, 18,793 is linear regression, resistance on a 5-minute time frame. 1 hour charts on full breakout mode, so there's no resistance there. 4 hour time frame is resistance not until 18,859, but that's a little bit irrelevant for us. We're day trading and scalping. 15-minute 18,793, kind of matching up with the 5-minute, right? So we have a confluence there of the 15-minute and the 5-minute resistance. And then the 30-minute resistance is sitting at 18,810. But for me personally, who trades on a 5-minute time frame, one would have to imagine you got to take some profits there. Hope you guys are able to make some money on that. I mean, we came about 3 points shy from hitting that linear regression. Again, the moving averages in all of these, you know, supply and demand zones. It's not a concrete wall. It's not a concrete wall. We don't have to touch it to the point. We don't have to stop at the point. And it's not going to hold us from breaking out. All it is giving us an edge to see potentially where could we get out, where could we get into a trade. That's it. I want to always take profits into resistance. I'm not waiting for it to get there. Into resistance. That's why we need space before we take trades, right? If we had resistance, you know, 4 points above, well, I got no space there to make any money. But over that 18,772 to 790s, which we're hitting now, there's space. So I want to take profits into the 90s. Does that make sense? I hope we're all taking profits into the 90s. I mean, I'll keep stressing it over and over and over, because if you're in this trade and you're not happy with the amount of money that you're making because maybe you're trading small size and it pulls back on you 20 points, you deserve to lose money. 91 is the high. This linear regression is sitting at 93 and a quarter. 93 and a quarter. We've come 2 points away from touching this. Here's our resistance now, 93 and a quarter, guys. There it is, 93 and a quarter. So you guys tell me if supply and demand doesn't fucking work, if technical analysis doesn't work. I sat here for 15, 20 minutes talking about if we break this level, we have potential to come here. I gave you levels on the 5-minute time frame, the 15-minute time frame, the 4-hour time frame. All those levels need to be respected. We take profits into supply. We take profits into demand, depending on if we're long or short. And we touched it to a T, 18,794. So depending on how many contracts you're trading, what's your style? I was in on this move, but again, I was in on this move heavy size, looking for a couple of points. That's it. I was in on the original 20 SMA played long, actually the prior one, right? Because I sat through that drawdown a little bit. I was down 60, 70 bucks. But I was using the previous swing low as a stop, 18,729. That was the level. Using that as a stop. So I just sit there until I get stopped out or until I take profits. I had the bracket order set for 10 points. This is what it is. See, are we kind of stopping here for a little bit of a pause? You know, if it chooses to break through here, then we have to go to another bigger time frame and find that next area of resistance. Makes sense? See how we stopped there perfectly, guys? See how we stopped at that linear regression? It's not rocket science. All I'm doing is keeping this very preschool. I'm going to paint in between the lines. That's it. You know, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, but at least I have something to look at, right? At least I have something to look at. I mean, all in all, this is a great day for the bulls, right? I mean, this is pretty good for the bulls here. Explosion off the open, right? Explosion off the open. Consolidate for, what is this? Almost 2 hours. Explosion, consolidate, never lose the bottom of the flag, and put in a new high. This is picture perfect for the bulls. Can someone please tell me, is the trend up or is the trend down? I trade whatever, JF. I trade whatever. Normally I trade if I'm trading futures, it's the Nasdaq. You know, as far as stocks, I will trade anything under the sun. My go-tos is Tesla, AMD, Nvidia. Those are the big dogs. That's what I like to trade, and that's all I really need to trade. I don't really like trading crude oil, although crude oil can do well. I don't like really trading the ES. You know, I've traded them in the past, but I just, once I find something that I like, I just kind of stick to it. But I'm willing to look at any chart. If anyone has any questions, I'm willing to look at any chart. Or if there's something good setting up, I'm willing to flip over to another chart. Only reason why I have Tesla up on the screen is I'm currently in the Tesla. I'm in Tesla options, so I'm kind of monitoring. Tesla, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go. Testing the prior swing high here on Tesla, guys, 174.86. I wanted to see it into the 175s. That was what I was looking for. Again, I started off with a 75-cent risk on this trade, looking for 75 cents to $1. ATR sitting here at the time I took the trade, you know, at around 50 cents. So I'll probably scale out a little bit of size here if it gets into 175. Nasdaq's getting a little hung up here. Again, new hour candle just started here. So new hour candle started. That was a good push up on the last one. Our support now, right? Our support now would be 18,772, right? If that was prior resistance, again, this is all basic stuff here. Prior resistance turns into new support. If new support doesn't hold, then obviously we're going lower. Previous support lost, acts as new resistance, right? So if we do pull back a little bit here into the Bollinger Band at 18,777, you know, look for a pullback into the 70s. If 70s holds, consolidates, and then goes higher, we could be looking at a new high. I mean, again, Nasdaq's only up 150. I've seen Nasdaq up 200, 250, 300. We can just continue to run. This is a clear trending day to the upside here with a 2-hour pause before this last leg up. This chart looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. It was pretty seamless. Jay, halfway to passing 4 top step evals, took your profits at linear regression. Beautiful. Congratulations, my man. I mean, and even if one was looking for the high of day break, right? It gave a 20-point move once it cleared out the high of day. I mean, that's pretty good, guys. That's pretty good. Guys, I'm selling half size on my Tesla here. Half size on Tesla here. Close enough to 175. I'm not going to really give this enough wiggle room to jerk me around. Taking a little bit more here off on Tesla, guys. It's trading at 174.96. Was looking for the 90 or the 74. I mean 75. Looking for 75. Come on, you son of a bitch. There's the 175. 175. Guys, I'm down to a runner on Tesla. Down to a runner. Nasdaq holding this 5 SMA here. So also again, for some of you guys who've been watching the YouTube and those of you guys in the room, remember what I've always said, and I've been talking a lot about it more lately, using the 5 SMA as your power trend. You notice this last 20 SMA long setup? We broke the 20 SMA, we confirmed it. We rode the 5 SMA all the way up. Never once have closed below the 5. So if you're holding runners on the NQ, or if you're holding a position on the NQ and you're kind of wondering, you know, is this going to break down? Is it going to continue to go higher? Guys, just do one thing. If it closes below the 5 SMA, just get out of your position. Simple. Simple. It'll keep your stop losses tight. It'll keep your runners running. You know, don't make it difficult. Getting that breakdown below the 5 SMA. Again, you know, the 772 was our breakout spot. That was our prior resistance. That's what we're looking for as support. We need that to hold. If that area holds, consolidates, and pushes up through the linear regression over 18,794, then maybe you got another long position, right? Just remember though, the farther we get away from the original breakout, the harder these trades become, you know, like the harder they are to take, right? You know, it's okay, you know, jumping out of the first or second story. It becomes a lot more difficult when we're 10 flights up, right? So just also keep that in mind too as well. And again, you know, markets, it's we've got only a couple hours left here. So for some of you guys in evolution traders, this here at the linear regression is what we also like to call that big top, right? Why? Extended move up into resistance, and then you use the high of day as a stop, you sit in it short. Got that? Is anyone you know, that you kind of catching my drift on what I'm saying there? Again, treat those as scalps, but that's what you would be looking for, you know, into the linear regression, into the 200 SMA. Yeah. Shorting today is a bad idea. But again, it depends on who you are and what type of trader you are, right? Like looking for a short, yes, is a bad idea. Looking for a short scalp where you're losing like a mini support and you're just trying to get in, take a couple of points and just get out because you're mindful that it is an uptrending day and you're just looking to steal a piece of pie is a different story, right? But yes, looking for a short is probably not the smartest thing to do today. The trend is visibly higher, right? And this is where a lot of traders can get into a little bit of trouble. Like if I was looking for a short scalp, I'm looking for a scalp into the 70s. That's it. That's it. Loss of the 5 SMA, below 80s, and I'm looking for a scalp into the 70s. That's it. A few points, get in, get out. Because I'm not going to sit in a short, potentially wick down here to this support at this in the 70s, and then have this thing snap me out. That's preposterous. It's stupid, right? It's ludicrous, right? It's dumb. But again, an experienced scalper would be looking for something like this, right? So again, I don't hate on the way anyone trades. Guys, at Tesla's at 175.10 now. I don't know if anyone tailed that trade or anyone got in there, but good spot here. Yeah, see, I mean, again, to everyone, Josh, who's on YouTube, who made that comment, I have a guy in the room who took 2 short scalps on that, right? They got in, they got green, they got out. Now he's not looking for an all-day move. We're not going back down all the way to 0. We're not going all the way to day's low. Just taking a little piece of the pie, piecing together the day, right? But again, you got to know what you're looking for, and you got to be okay with that risk and that size. Any trade's valid. Any trade's valid, right? Any trade's valid. Normally the people who are getting caught are the people who are telling themselves, there's no way that this can go higher. It's got to go lower. I'm shorting this top. But they have no idea where they're getting out or no idea where they're taking profits. They're just getting in on a hunch. Tesla trading at 175.22. Average time on those scalps is 30 seconds. I mean, that's all you can do, right? That's all you're looking for, to be honest. So that 20 SMA play, it hit at a 2-to-1 on the Tesla, 2-to-1. The range was 37 cents. I was realistically giving it 75 cents to low of day. It got that pretty easily. And why I say it got 2 R's is because it got pretty close to taking 75 cents on that thing, and the range on it was 37 cents. The premiums weren't that bad. They were 250 to 300, something like that. I can actually look them. Let me see. $320 for me. $320. And they went up around 25 cents, 30 cents. I took 15 of them. I chart individual stocks like Netflix, of course, yeah. The way I chart futures is the way I chart options, right? Nothing changes. All my strategies are the same. My take profits is the range, right, of the candle or the ATR, right? So if I'll just give you an example. ATR on Tesla was around 50 cents, right? The range on the candle was around 40 cents. So if I can get 40, 50 cents, 75 cents, I'm going to look to start scaling out of my position. If I get close to $1, I'm always out. I'm always out. I don't really care. And it's the same way on futures, right? I'm looking at 20 SMA play. If the range is 9 points, I'm looking for around 9 points to get in, take a scalp. You know, that's also going to be my stop. 20 SMA plays, both the same. The first hour highs and lows, all the same. I chart everything the same. It doesn't matter what I'm trading. I could be trading, you know, crypto. It doesn't matter. Um, Not as of late, Kurt. Not as of late. I don't swing. You can. You just need to use daily chart and the 1 hour chart. You can take your entries. You can take your entries on a 5-minute chart, but you want them to be breaking hourly levels or daily levels. Biggs swings a lot, right? So he's swinging a lot. He's looking for, you know, bounce plays, deep pullbacks into the 50 SMA, into the 200, long consolidation. Like Kurt, I'll give you an example on the screen that I'm sharing. If this Tesla chart, right? If this Tesla chart was a daily chart, and in this range here, right, we're, you know, we're kind of treading towards the sideways and we're making these bottoms here. If this was a daily chart, Biggs would do this: start building a position here or enter a position, use the low as your max pain, and then you're sitting in it until you're taking profits into the upper supply. That's how he plays it. So I mean, sometimes he'll post plays that he's in. I mean, sometimes he's sitting in for a week, sometimes it's a couple days, sometimes it's weeks, but he's definitely looking at charts that look like this. So if this was Tesla's daily chart, well, and you know, maybe a week or two ago was a good time to start getting in long. Maybe, you know, whatever this is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 8 days ago, if this was a daily chart, when we closed over the 20 SMA, was a good time to start a position for a swing, right? And use that low as a stop. Guys, we're getting a pullback here. Again, rejection at that linear regression, lost the 5 SMA, came down to the 10. Now that previous area of resistance is looking to hold as support. If it doesn't, the 70s, then we've got mini support here at 763, which is a 20 SMA. And the more time that passes here, the more candles that pass, this 20 SMA will rise. So support between 72 and 62. I'll just say that. So if you're short, start cleaning up positions. If you're short, start cleaning up positions. If you're looking for a short, I want you to look to the left of the chart. Look at this prior high, look at this high, and look at this breakout. We got a lot of price action right where this 20 SMA is at, right? In this zone. So I'm actually pull it up on this chart. Because sometimes when the charts get confusing, guys, you know, when I'm looking at the big chart, I'll do this. Let's look at this chart here. Okay. So notice how we're pulling back into the middle of the range here. If I was to draw if I was to draw a prior resistance, a prior supply zone, okay, and I draw like a range. So if prior resistance, gosh darn it, my phone is blowing up. My bad, guys. If prior resistance is going to act as new support, then I would say this. I would say this, right? Make this box green. This would be a perfect break and retest, yes? Also got confluence with the rising 20 SMA here. So just be careful on the short. If you're not short, again, your short position was up here at resistance. Okay, your short position was here when we lost a 5. Your short position doesn't start here at support. Make sense? So our zone, right? Our zone for support is going to be this range, right? Look at these multiple touch points. Change this color here so we can see it. Too bright? I think that's too bright. That red's going to drive me nuts. That's a little better. Once we broke out of this area, we back tested it, hit resistance, back tested it, and then broke through. This is support. So I would technically make this green. I would make this green because I like things color coordinated. So to me, green box is telling me support. We got buyers here. Right now, this prior supply zone that is trying to act as resistance, this will change to red if we get below this, right? If we lose the 20 SMA and we back test this zone and we can't break back up into it and then start falling down, this box will change to red. Because it's just, you know, color coordination for me to let me know that there's sellers here in this area. Woo! What a breakdown. What a breakdown. I looked down at my phone for 2 seconds. That's why you never want to say that, you know, it's a bad day to short or this, that, and the other. Just respect the charts. Hey, guys, I'm open to going long and short. I don't care. At the end of the day, the bulls can put food on my table or the bears can put food on my table. I don't discriminate, okay? If there's money to be made, we can make it. You know, like, just respect the charts. Yes, it's an uptrending day. It's definitely an uptrending day. However, we have to be mindful. And this 1 hour candle literally is giving back everything we did last hour candle. Good, nice. Good job, Josh. Wait. Yeah, I mean, just short them. As long as you've got room, as long as you've got space, move that stop loss at break even, move that stop loss into profit, and keep on riding that son of a bitch. Guys, we're giving back everything on this 1 hour candle here. If we come down to 18,729, look for that to see if it's going to hold. 5-minute time frame right now is at the 50 SMA. Again, we got a little bit support down here at the lower Bollinger Band and that little bottom range that we held. This I'm going to actually change now to red and see if the bulls or see if the bears keep that as resistance. All we did was come right back in down into the bottom of into the middle bottom of the range that we were in for 2 hours. We got the quick breakout. A lot of us took that long there. We had a few guys take the short scalp there at the very top, and now we're back down to the middle of the range. So, yeah, great job. 500 bucks stock pilot. Good job, man. Good job, Elder. 1400. Nice, nice, nice. Awesome. Awesome. Anyone who's still short now, be careful. You're at support here on the 50 SMA. Kind of take your profits. Wait for a new setup. If the 20 SMA play confirms, you have room down to 729. Getting a little bit of a bounce here off this 50 SMA here, guys. No confirmation yet on the 20 SMA play. Range on that previous candle was 31 points. Monster move there. I probably wouldn't be looking for 30 points. I'd be looking for something closer to 13 points, 5-minute ATR, if it does confirm. That would kind of be correlating with getting back down into the bottom of this range here. But again, very, very tricky because there was a lot of price action here previously where you can see, you know, buyers were comfortable down here in this range. Buyers were comfortable in this range. So be careful. Yeah, normally you do get a big bounce hard, yeah. Typically what you'd like to see on a big move like that is you would like to see a hard bounce. You would like to see a hard bounce, rejection, and then lose those lows. Like you want to basically pick up more sellers up here and then scream through. Scream through. Thanks, Josh. You want to scream through that area. So You know, it's normally guys who want to take that, they look at the big red candle and then they want to jump short right away. Now you're stuck in drawdown, right? Be patient. Be patient. You know, let's see the bounce. Let's see what happens here. Because again, if we go back in just a couple of hours, we had a lot of price action here, right? Where buyers were comfortable stepping in here and kind of bouncing it, stepping in, kind of bouncing it. So if they do the same, you know, and you wanted to jump the early short, you're going to get trapped. Right? You want to see a little bit of a bounce here and then boom, bust through. Boom, bust through. When we bust through the second time, that's when you want to go. The best protection you can do right now on a short play like this, small size, guys. Small size. Don't be a hero and try to put on multiple mini contracts right now, especially in a range where in this specific area there was a lot of price action prior. Small size. That way, in case you're wrong and this does snap back up, because again, this could snap back up easily to 758, which is another 10, 12, 15 points. And if you're sitting in here 1, 2, 3 mini contracts, you guys are going to be down $1,000 or more, right? If you're in a few micro contracts, you might be down $100 or something, right? So again, if you made money on the downwards move, we're not going max size here to try to get more off the table. We should have caught that move through the, you know, when you know, that momentum when we broke through that previous area that we broke out from, right? So be patient, be cautious here, and it's all about risk management. All about risk management. You know, if we do decide to keep cracking to the downside, I'd look to start, you know, taking profits off in the 30s. Taking profits off in the 30s. And if it bounces from here, look for rejection between 57 and 65. That was a monster candle. Wow. Dun, 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 dun. It's 2-minute charts looking to engulf that last candle. I mean, excuse me, 1 hour chart looking to engulf that last candle there. 5-minute on the left, 1 hour on the right. I'll pull up the ES right now. Let's see. Yeah, ES chart basically looks the same as a NQ. Right back to the opening range. That opening range big breakout on a 20 SMA, right? Came all the way back down. It's almost identical to the NAS, what we did over there. Same thing. 740, yeah. Little bear flaggy here on the 5 minute. Got a couple hours left of the market, guys. The later on in the day it gets, the less likely I will take another trade. I'm going to try to protect what gains I got today. I just want to kind of see this play out. I want to see, does this bounce right into 760s, or do we come down here to these 30s, right? I'm looking for 30s, high 20s, right? I've got my level here at 729. You know, we break 729, you're looking at 18,710. But I just want to kind of see this play out for my own thought process here. And then I got to get something to eat. I'm starving. That sounds good. I'm starving. I gotta, you know what I'm gonna do? I gotta download my drawing tool. Yeah, get a sweep of the lows, you know. Sounds right. There's that low, guys. Here we come down. We're looking for those 30s, looking for that low 30s, right? I mean, again, it could snap here. It could sweep. It could sweep, you know, 30s and snap back. Again, depending on it, where you're at, long, short. It's going to depend on where you're looking to get out at. If you're just looking for a new trade here, I need to break this prior swing low. You know, I got to get below 18,729. Aggressive little bounce there. 50 broken. Yeah, I mean, it's looking to reclaim this 50 on 5 minute. Your bounce spot here is back into 764. A little bit of a big bottom here for those of you guys in evolution traders. You get that extended down move, you get the sweep, you get the reversal candlestick, and you start getting a reclaim of prior support. If we start pushing over 50 SMA in 5 minute time frame, you're looking for 760s. All in all, big picture here, back in the middle of range. That's all it is. Notice the left-hand chart on my screen, back in the middle of range. So every time we get to the bottom of the range, we bounce. Bottom of the range, bounce. Bottom of the range, bounce. Bottom of the range, bounce. Broke out to the high side once. Bulls could not hold that. Came all the way back down the bottom of the range. Right? That's all it is. Patience, patience, patience. Little flaggy here, holding this 50, what is it, EMA? 50 EMA, 50 SMA. EMA, SMA, both right in the same spot. I mean, risk would be essentially, you know, for the long, so you're looking at around a 15-point risk here to this low 729, right? That would be a hard exit below 7, you know, 29. 15 points. Just kind of sit and see what this does. Again, if it loses 729, 23, 12, 700. Oh. I got nothing, guys. I got nothing. Nothing really interests me right here at these prices. Nothing interests me right now. Just like I was waiting for this range to get broken to the top side before I had interest, I'm waiting for getting back over, you know, the 20 and this that 772 to the long side, or I'm waiting for this to get broken to the downside. This kind of action in between, it doesn't do nothing for me. New hour candle in 7 minutes. You know, maybe a confirmation through 729 interests me on a fresh hour candle. That might interest me. How's everyone doing out there today? You know, we still looking to take some trades. How we doing? What are we what are we waiting for? That's right. Oh yeah. Let me get I completely forgot. Patience, 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 guys. You don't want to take a trade now just for the sake of taking a trade. Hey Elder, I'm gonna drop that in the futures trading channel. Let me know if you can load that out workspace. Should be good. Should be the big chart. If it's not the big chart, let me know. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Guys, 35 minutes consolidating down here at the bottom since that big drop. You know, what are we going to do, right? Start guessing, going up, going down. Don't do that, right? I see so many traders do that. Oh, we got to go lower. Oh, we got to go higher. Oh, this is the bounce spot. Lower. Oh, this is, this is the breakdown. Wait, just wait. There's nothing happening right now. Just nothing. So far, all we did was have a fantastic push off the open. We consolidated for 2 hours. We put in a new high, and then we just pulled right back down. We're still in that original flag, right? We're still in that original flag now. So if we get the breakdown, then we want to start opening it up. Maybe, that this market can expand to the downside. If we start pushing higher, and this is a floor, because obviously buyers have stepped in and protected these prices, right? We've protected down here between, I'm just going to call an ace and ace, a spade, between 18,730 and 18,745, 750, that 15.20 range, buyers have defended. So if buyers are defending that area, why would we try to guess and go short, right? We need to see something else happen, aka lose a previous hour's low, aka give up 729, like give it up. Like, we need to see that. But I mean, if you just look at the 5-minute time frame, we're stacked. Even below 729, you got support at 723, 712, 700. There's no real potential downside risk on this chart until we lose 18,690. Okay, so we're talking about 50 points. We would have to give up 50 points. I could see this stupid chart coming down 50 points and then snapping back, right? All you have to do is find your levels where you can get in and make a little bit of cash flow. Yeah, just let me know if it works. It should work. I've shared it here in the past, and I know a couple of guys have put it up on the chart. Maybe if you get a sweep into the 20s, could be a good spot to look for a bounce, using that sweep low as a stop, max pain. But I'd like to see it sweep 20s or even a little bit lower. A little bit lower. And then a quick reversal, though. I want to see a strong wick. Perfect. Now you can drive yourself nuts looking at all of the supply and demand zones out there. But it definitely helps, though. Like, I remember when I was showing Biggs the chart, he was having like years ago, he was having trouble like figuring out. But I mean, it's helped us so many times, because so many times, let's say we've been in a position long and it's kind of pulling back a little bit, right? It's lost maybe the 5 or something, but it's like we got the 10 and the 20 support right there, and you can see that if it holds that area and bounces, the trade's still, legitimate. I mean, and it kind of gives you those areas where if you're in a trade and you're a little profitable, and it's stalling and it's stalling and it's stalling, and you use one of these other areas to kind of just get out and cut the trade, you can save your ass. Versus looking at a blank chart is good. It's great for the eyes. It's reading just pure price action. It's great. But you know, if you really don't have something concrete, you're kind of just stuck. You're kind of like just looking at the overall chart, like where could this go? Where could this not go? Kind of just takes a little bit of guesswork out of the situation. And helps you identify like the bigger levels. Like I only want to take trades that have space, right? They have space. If it doesn't have room, like for example, that break over 18,772, that had room. It had clear room to the 90s. There was nothing there. So if that trade didn't work, well then I got to tip my hat to the market. They got me. But on a particular play like this, for example, I mean, I've got so much support here. It's a little tricky, right? Like, do I really want to get short if they lose, you know, this swing low of 729? I got support sitting at 723. You know, there's nothing there. Below 723 could easily wash to 715, but at least I know that, right? So if I'm an idiot, or if I'm trying to be Captain America trader and I take that trade and I don't get out at these areas and I lose a trade, that's my fault, right? That's my fault 100%. But you know, when you're looking at the charts and you don't really know where potential is at, it's not your fault. You're playing the hoping game. You're playing the hoping game. There's that sweep. There's that sweep. That's the second time I look down at this stupid phone in the big sweep. So guys, that's the sweep we were talking about, right? So he's sweeping these lows down here into those 13s, 15s. Your next support's 700, right? So on this particular sweep here, you got a linear regression sitting down here at around 700, right? That sweep, you're looking for an aggressive wick, right? An aggressive wick push back up, confirmation of this candle's highs to see bulls hold that level. If they don't, this whole flag that we've been creating here is now been breached. Okay, so now been breached, you're looking for that confirmation follow through. And or if you were looking for that sweep and you're quick to the trigger, you're in long, right? And what's your stop loss? This low wick. That low wick's your stop loss. You know, it was a great short. It was a great short. Came down through those levels we've been talking about, the 729s. You know, we had those levels, 24s and 15s, right? 14s, 15s, swept it. If you were looking for that, again, if you're sitting there, you know, twiddling your thumbs and looking at the price, asking yourself now, should you get in short? You know, that's a problem. You're asking yourself, should I bounce here? That's a problem, because that means you don't have a clear plan. You weren't analyzing the charts. You weren't looking at these levels. You weren't expecting something to happen. When we're going into these trades clueless and we're just like, oh, it looks like it's going lower, everyone's talking about this, talking about that, and you're wondering, you might as well put a blindfold on and start, you know, twirling around in circles, right? Make some money on that, Vaughn? Beautiful. Good job. Good job. Good job. Good job. Let's get some votes going on there on that poll. Closer we get to the close, the more you want to start dialing it back, the more you want to start sizing down, the less trades you want to start taking. We want to start going into protection mode here, guys. Especially if we're green on the day, we want to go into protection mode. I understand the charts look beautiful, but guess what? They're going to also be here tomorrow, right? Charts are going to be here next week, next month. Okay, I don't care how old you are. I got people in my room, you know, over 60, 65 years old, 70 years old in the room. Charts have been here, market's been here before they were around, and they're going to continue to be here long after we're around. So again, there's no rush, right? There's no, you know, get that out of your system. If I have to come on every day and just pound that into your head that there's no rush, trading personal account, trading prop firm, what are you rushing for? No one's going to give you a cookie and a pat on the back if you make $1 million today. Okay, no one's gonna care if you blew up 10 prop firm accounts today. Okay, no one's gonna care. I not every day on YouTube. No, I don't. Not every day on YouTube. 90% of the time is spent with the guys in my Discord, guys and gals in my Discord. My demographic also, guys, is not young. You know, most of the people in my room, you know, are normal adults of age. You know, there's not kids in here who are looking to just make $20,000 today and gamble it all away. You know, we all got lives, we all got bills, we all got families. We all got things to do. We're a little bit more realistic to the market, and I like it that way. I like it that way. I could again, no offense, you know, no offense if you're in your early 20s, but those are the worst people to trade with. 20, 21 years old, because they don't have a firm grasp yet. You know, come work with me, trade with me, and you're going to have a different approach on this market. We're not here to do anything special. We're here to be patient. We're here to, you know, make some cash. This is an excellent skill set that you can have. And once you learn it, you can do it forever, right? Whether you work a 9 to 5 or whether you're retired, it doesn't really matter. Whether you're looking to transition into something else and you need something to kind of float your income by, or whether you're looking to, you know, go full time one day. Again, disclaimer, I recommend everyone to keep their 9 to 5 as long as you can. Never treat this business as if I make this much money, if I can do this for 1 or 2 months, I can just do this full time. Guys, it's the hardest thing in the world. I've had 6 heart attacks in the past 10 years. 6 of them. I'm surprised I'm still standing. Like that's, you know, and during those 6 heart attacks, I don't trade earnings anymore. I very rarely swing longer than a day, you know, longer than a day. If I do swing options positions, it's normally I'm selling out first thing in the morning. Swinging has got me into a lot of trouble. It's because I'm trading off a smaller time frame. So when I find those time frames, those setups on the smaller time frames, you know, realistically, those levels tend to get shattered 48 hours later, 72 hours later, right? I would need to switch over to the 1 hour, 4 hour daily time frames to swing, use all the same methods, all the same strategies. But with trading bigger time frames, comes bigger risk, right? Bigger risk. And when you're a trader, all you got is risk. So I don't want to risk that much, you know? That doesn't mean that I go in with super small size. I mean, I feel like my position size is pretty decent on the option side of things. You know, I'll take 10, 15 contracts, but I can control it in a very small period of time. You're not going to see me swinging 10 or 15 contracts, $10,000 in premium for 3 days. You know, it's just not going to happen. It's just not, anything can happen. I can wake up tomorrow, the whole world can be on fucking fire. You know, like, it's just not going to happen. Yeah, keep the office space job, Dante, as long as you can, my man. Just do this on the side and continue to supplement the income. Stack up, you know, stack up. As long as you can. Everyone's situation is different. You know? Some people don't need to make a lot of money. Some people want to make a lot of money. They want to make the same they're making in their regular job. Some people want to double what they're making in a regular job. I get it. Just, it'll come, you know, it'll come. Days will pass. Days will pass. As long as you're alive and well and you're waking up every single morning, the numbers are going to continue to add up. Take that approach. So far, still getting rejected here at the 50, and I've also got a bunch of other stuff here too. 5, 10-day moving average on a 5-minute time frame, kind of coming back down. Support still kind of sitting here at the 20s, low 20s, 23, and then I've also got support at 715, right? If we do come down all the way and take out this wick, again, you know, I hate to throw a million numbers out there, but I've got support all the way realistically until 18,691. So the point I'm trying to make with that is we can continue to grind down here, and then it could bounce. You know, I could see it bouncing 690, 700. If you're short, right? If you're short, most of you guys come follow me through YouTube. Guys, what do I teach on YouTube? 20 SMA play, 31-point range on the short, 31-point range on the reason why candle. One micro contract would lose $60, $65 a contract. 2 contracts is $125. We're looking for 31 points. The low was 18,742. We hit lows of 18,707. Would you have got your 30 points? And if you didn't take it on the sweep, would you still be in the money right now? Right, 742. We're currently trading at 729. So we're talking about 10 to 12 points. You're still in the money here. Take your profits, right, if you're getting that second opportunity. The main thing is always just protection, right? So for example, if you were like, let's say, you know, kind of sitting through that 30 minutes worth of chop and you're in a short position and you go green and then it's kind of coming back now against you, you have the opportunity right now to get out for still a profit. You know, what is stopping you from getting out now? Market's giving you a second opportunity here to break even or get out for a small profit. Again, if it's, I'm talking about the 20 SMA play, right? That 20 SMA play, 742 was the low. We're trading at 36. So yeah, whatever. It's 5, 6, 7, 8 points. Okay, fine. Market's giving you an opportunity here. If you're going to be stubborn and you're going to be, you know, oh, it's going to go lower, it's going to go lower, it's going to go lower, and it bounces, that's your fault. This green zone on my chart has been here for over an hour now, I think. What is the green zone? Buyers. Where have we bounced at? Green zone. Where are we trading at? Green zone. Okay. But it lost that level and it wicked all the way down and it swept. Cool. Then you should have taken profits there. Preaching to the choir, right? I'm just talking. I'm just giving examples. I'm not saying no one is saying that, but I'm sure there's somebody out there crying about that. Somebody that you would have to imagine trading right now is crying that we're not moving lower because they're stuck in a position. It's one thing about this business. This business does not care what's going on with you. The same for everyone else. Do you think realistically anyone else cares if you make $1,000 or lose $1,000 today? No one cares. Do you think I realistically think anyone cares if I make or lose money? No. Why? Because it doesn't affect you. My trading doesn't affect you, just like your trading doesn't affect me, right? In this business, you have to do what's right for you. I don't care if someone's making $500 a day and you're making $20 a day. I don't care. Do what's best for you. If $20 a day is good for you to where your emotional well-being is safe and intact and you can come in here and do that day in and day out, I'd rather you do that every day for the rest of your life and compound that account than be the guy trying to be a hero making $500 a trade. Don't worry about everyone else. That's a problem. Everyone else sees everyone else getting funded. You see big payouts. You see this trader make $1,000 and you think, well, I can do it. I'm trading the same thing. Who cares what they're doing? Who cares? Because they don't care about you. You have to have a business mindset when it comes to trading and be cutthroat. Protect risk at all costs. Be a penny pincher. Get better prices on your entries. You know, alter your take profits so you can have a higher win rate in certain market conditions and market cycles. Be cutthroat, guys. Be an animal. Shark, you know. We're still being pinned right now. We do have fanned out 5 moving average, 10 moving average, 50 moving average. They're all kind of fanned out here, adding, you know, different levels of resistance. Pressure right now, you know, so far for the last hour has been a little bit down. We do have some support down here. Again, we're back down to this bottom of the range here. You know, if you're still looking for that one last trade, be a little patient. You know, you might get it, you know, in power hour. You might. If you don't, great. Come back tomorrow. Come back tomorrow. We got 16 votes here. 81% of those votes are people who are green on the day. 19% are people who are red on the day. Let's get a few more votes. Let's get the votes up to 20 at least. And to the people in the 81%, why are you guys even still watching the stream? Why are you guys even still trading? We're losing some steam here. 72% people in the red or in the green, 28% of people in the red today. Again, to those 72%, maybe it's time to call it quits on the day. Right? Protection mode. 68%. 70%. We got some losers in here. Oh, good guys. It's just trading, right? We're not performing brain surgery over here. Clicking buttons on a PC. Some of you guys on your phone. Nasdaq Power Hour awaits. Vaughn. Max size, 10 contracts, all or nothing, baby. Nice, Steve. Also, here's another thing for some. Here's another thing. Yeah, there you go. Here's another thing for some of you guys who maybe experienced some losses early in the day and you guys are still trading. Instead of taking that one account down, guys, go buy another. If you're trading prop, this is the people who are trading prop firms. Go buy another prop firm account. Right? What is Top Step right now? Sale for 20 bucks. What is the Apex? 90% off. You want to trade more? Put your money where your mouth is and go buy another account. Because guess what? To the normal people out there, to the people trading real live cash accounts, like for example, I trade options. I can't go get funny money to trade options. I have to use my own personal cash. So if I want to trade, guess what? There's a risk of me losing money on a trade. And with the position size that I'm taking, I don't care if you're even taking one options contract or two option contract, you're going to lose 50, 100, $200 on a trade. And most of you guys who are trading prop, you guys go up $200 or $300 on a day, and then you want to continue to trade that account, go all the way down into negative. Some of you guys start off negative, down 300, 400, 500, 600. Instead of taking that one account drawing down, if you want to trade so bad, go buy another account, get more risk. Like, so that way you can spread it out, right? But if you're so tight, like, right, if you're tight, you don't want to go drop another $20 to $35 on a new account to trade, then realistically, you're not even comfortable taking another trade and losing 25 to 35 bucks. Does that make sense? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Guys, we're getting a little bit of a break here over the 50. We got resistance here back in 750s and 755s. Again, you know, looks like that bottom area has held. It's held all day. Once here, 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 right? With that being said, guys, I'm like deathly hungry. I'm gonna go get something to eat. My accounts are locked out for the day. Couldn't trade them even if I wanted to. So with that being said, I'm going to just stay put there. To those of you guys in my room and Discord, I'll see all of you guys on the inside. To everyone else on YouTube, I'll catch you guys on the next time